As we head into Labor Day, we ought to take a step back and take note of the fact that America is now one of the strongest job-creating periods in our history, in the history of our country. We've added 13.5 million jobs since I took office, around 800,000 of them manufacturing jobs. We've created more jobs in 2 years than any president ever created in a single four-year term. I came to office determined to build the economy in a different way, from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down, to move away from trickle-down economics and instead focus on the middle class. Because when the middle class does well, and this is not hyperbole, when the middle class does well, everyone does well. Everyone does well. Started calling my plan Bidenomics. It's about investing in America and investing in Americans. It's working. Key pillar of Bidenomics is empowering and educating workers who are the backbone of this country. Jill and I spent time with the incredible first responders, folks who ran toward the danger instead of away from the danger when this storm was coming and when it hit. They're doing an incredible job. But the work, in a sense, is just beginning. We got a lot of work to do. I'm here today to deliver a clear message to the people of Florida and throughout the Southeast. As I told your governor, if there's anything your state needs, I'm ready to mobilize that support. Anything they need related to these storms. Your nation has your back, and we'll be with you until the job is done. I told when I ran for president, I told you I'd have your back, and I have. You know, there are a lot of politicians in this country who don't know how to say the word union. They talk about labor, they don't say union. It's union. I'm one of them. I'm proud to say union. I'm proud to be the most pro-union president according to the experts in American history. And by the way, I make no bones about that. Folks, in this Labor Day, let me tell you what we're celebrating. We're celebrating jobs, good paying jobs, jobs you can raise a family on, union jobs. You've heard me say it before, but my dad used to have an expression, I swear to God. He'd say, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck, for real. It's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, it's going to be okay, and mean it when you say it. And he was right. And I'm determined to make that a reality for every family in this country. And we are making it a reality. Nearly 13,500,000 jobs just since you got me sworn in January 2020.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States of America, authorized by Act of Congress, March 3, 1863, has awarded, in the name of Congress, the Medal of Honor to First Lieutenant Larry L. Taylor, United States Army.
June 18, 1968, it was pitch black, no moon, no stars, no light beyond the glow of Lieutenant Taylor's cockpit controls when he heard a whisper coming through his radio. We're surrounded. The call had come from a four-man Army patrol unit just northeast of Saigon. He learned that any attempt to save the men had been called off. The rescue helicopter was not coming. Instead, Lieutenant Taylor received a direct order: return to base. His response was just as direct: I'm getting my men out. Lieutenant Taylor would perform the extraction himself, a maneuver never before accomplished in a Cobra. Remember, the Cobra was only a gunship only. It had no cabin for passengers. And because of that, he rewrote the fate of 4 families for generations to come. That's valor. That's valor. Pretty fancy, you guys. All right, here we go.
There we go. Okay, go ahead, sir.
With your seal carved into
That's
it.
pretty cool.
With your name on the back. And it notes that this is wood from the JFK.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy this day has arrived. It's a big deal for management, for labor, as well as for the United States of America. I really mean it. For the past 13 months, the International Longshoremen and Warehouse Union, representing 22,000 workers on the West Coast ports, and the Pacific Maritime Association, representing shipping companies that depend on those ports and those workers, they've been negotiating a new contract. At long last, they've reached an agreement because they stuck with it. It's been ratified with overwhelming support by union members, I think over 70%, if I'm not mistaken. One Earth, one family, one future. That's the focus of this G20 summit. And in many ways, it's also the focus of this partnership that we're talking about today. We're focusing on regional infrastructure projects that deliver results across multiple countries and in multiple sectors. We're going to invest in ships and rail that extends from India all the way to Europe, unlocking endless opportunities. The world stands at an inflection point in history, a point where decisions we make today are going to affect the course of our future for decades to come. So together, let's continue to work as one to seize this moment in history to maximize our collective investments. When we invest in emerging economies, all economies benefit. And when we invest in the future of people anywhere, people everywhere benefit. This trip has been a historic moment. The United States has strengthened our ties with another critical Indo-Pacific partner, and all the effort we've advanced from day one of my administration to demonstrate that the United States is a Pacific nation, and we're not going anywhere. We showed up ready to work, and we showed the world the United States is a partner with a positive vision for our shared future. All the progress over the past 50 years, none of it was inevitable. It required years of hard work from leaders in both countries. I'm incredibly proud of how our nations and our people have built trust and understanding over the decades and worked to repair the painful legacy the war left on both our nations. It's work that we pledge today to continue. Our cooperation on these painful issues, as well as on forging new legacies, is one of shared peace and prosperity. It's a powerful reminder of all we can accomplish when we're able to transcend the pain of the past and embrace a future of progress, one grounded on unity of our people. Vietnam is a critical power in the world and a bellwether in this vital region, and I look forward to continuing this new chapter in the story of our nation. Earlier today in Hanoi, I visited a marker to honor my friend, war hero, Senator, and statesman John McCain. One thing I always admired about John was how he put duty to country first, above party, above politics, above his own person. We must never lose that sense of national unity. I will never hesitate to do what is necessary to defend the American people, just as I will never forget our sacred duty to those of you who serve. Heroes like all of you, the brave women and men of the armed forces who never faltered, you never failed to defend our nation, our people, and our values in times of trial. We never bow, we never bend, we never yield. Well, last year, Jill and I reignited the cancer moonshot to end cancer as we know it. And so it's not just personal, but it's about what's possible. That's why I wanted to make sure that we have a full government-wide effort on the first ever cancer cabinet. During the campaign, I was asked, what's the one thing I would do if I were president? What if I could just do one thing? I said I'd cure cancer. Everything we've ever put our mind to, we've been able to do. And I was trying to make the point that it's essential that we keep that spirit. And with that, I'll turn it over to Joe.
This isn't, as you all know, a red issue or a blue issue. It's a human one. We all know, everybody in this room, cancer is daunting and complex. We can't afford to wait another minute for better solutions, better treatments, better cures. And that's why we're all here. For all the families touched by cancer across the country that are in a race against time. So together, I know we are going to end cancer as we know it.
We just cut the budget deficit by $160 billion. $160 billion. You know how we did it? By giving Medicare the power to negotiate for lower prescription drug costs. Guess what? We changed it, and we're not going back. I, along with your senators and congressmen, have been trying for our whole careers to take on Big Pharma. Last night, after negotiations broke down, the UAW announced a targeted strike at a few Big Three auto plants. Let's be clear, no one wants a strike. Say it again, no one wants a strike. But I respect workers' right to use their options under the collective bargaining system. And I understand the workers' frustration. It's my hope that the parties can return to the negotiation table to forge a win-win agreement. The bottom line is that auto workers help create America's middle class. My fellow leaders, at this inflection point in history, we're going to be judged by whether or not we live up to the promises we made to ourselves, to each other, to the most vulnerable, and to all those who will inherit the world we create. Will we find within ourselves the courage to do what must be done, to preserve the planet, to protect human dignity, to provide opportunity for people everywhere, and to defend the tenets of the United Nations? There can only be one answer to that question. We must. And we will. Congress acts, I'm going to keep using every tool at my disposal as President of the United States to preserve and protect DACA, keep fighting for dreamers, and build a safe, orderly, humane immigration system. We put in place policies that process people in a fair and fast way. We're significantly expanding legal pathways for entry so businesses can get the workers they need. Families don't have to wait for a decade to be together. Look, folks, shootings are the ultimate superstorm, ripping through communities. We're going to centralize, accelerate, and intensify our work to save more lives more quickly. That's why this new White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention is what it's designed to do. It will drive and coordinate a government and a nationwide effort to reduce gun violence in America, and it will be overseen by an incredible vice president who understands this more than any vice president has. Folks, to be clear, none of these steps alone is going to solve the entirety of the gun violence epidemic. None of them. But together, they will save lives. One thing is real simple, and to be very brief. The fact of the matter is that you guys, the UAW, you saved the automobile industry back in 2008 and before. You made a lot of sacrifices. You gave up a lot, and the companies were in trouble. But now they're doing incredibly well. And guess what? You should be doing incredibly well too. It's a simple proposition. It's just about being fair. And folks, stick with it, because you deserve the significant raise you need and other benefits. So let's get back what we lost, okay? We saved them. It's about time them to step up for us. Thank you. Folks, you've heard me say it many times. Wall Street didn't build the country. The middle class built the country. And unions built the middle class. That's a fact. So let's keep going. You deserve what you've earned, and you've earned a hell of a lot more than you're getting paid now. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Please keep our jobs in America, Mr. Biden.
They have to. That's why we have to keep the electric precinct.
Please.
Good to see you, man.
What's up, buddy?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Keep it going.
One day longer, one day stronger.
I'm meeting today with top scientists and technology experts from all over the country. We're working on new guardrails that will make artificial intelligence safer, and new antibiotics are going to make hospital patients safer as well. I believe very strongly that the defining feature of our democracy is our Constitution. I believe in the separation of powers and checks and balances, that debate and disagreement do not lead to disunion. I believe in free and fair elections and a peaceful transfer of power. I believe there's no place in America, none, for political violence. We have to denounce hate, not embolden it. Across the aisle, across the country, I see fellow Americans, not mortal enemies. We're a great nation because we're good people. I believe in honor, decency, and respect. And I believe every president should be a president for all Americans. To use the office of the President to unite the nation, uphold the duty to care for all Americans.